In the past few minutes, we've learned the governor has authorized the National Guard to be staged and ready in case they're needed.
And while they are being staged, it's important to note you will not see Guard members on the street unless the governor later deploys them. The governor also mobilized 85 members of the State Patrol to help with local law enforcement. Here's what else is happening this afternoon. A memorial is growing in the neighborhood where a 37-year-old Renee Good was killed yesterday. Protests continue and more are planned for the evening and the days ahead. Minnesota leaders continue to call for ICE to get out of Minneapolis. And we do know ICE activity is underway as their immigration operation continues today. Meanwhile, leaders in Washington, including the vice president, say they are standing with ICE. Today, the state said it has also been taken off the case, and the FBI is the only agency investigating the shooting. We have several teams covering this story and key updates with local and federal officials today. We have also been able to confirm the identity of the ICE agent who fatally shot Renee Good.
We know he was involved in another incident in June in Bloomington, where a wanted man dragged him about 300 feet with his car, injuring him to the point of needing 30 stitches. That home security video you just saw shows that driver taking off.
Senior investigative reporter Jennifer Merrily is looking into what happened in that case and also more on this officer involved. Jen?
Yes, and here's what we know about the case and the agent. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem said yesterday the agent involved in the fatal shooting was injured in June while trying to make an arrest during a traffic stop. Now, according to court documents, that agent's name is Jonathan Ross. CBS has confirmed the agent was a member of the Special Response Team. Now, that's a trained tactical unit within ICE enforcement and removal operations. So let's take a look at that video again of that traffic stop. This happened in Bloomington in mid-June. Federal prosecutors say the driver tried to escape during an attempted ICE arrest, driving off and dragging the officer. Now, the driver was charged with assault on a federal officer with a dangerous or deadly weapon. Now, according to the complaint, these images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. It also says he used his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. You can see that broken window there in the pictures.
That's why I got stuck.
From there, the driver takes off with the agent hanging from the car. Here's a look at Ross in the hospital. Documents show he needed 20 stitches in his right arm, another 13 in his left hand. So what else do we know? Well, Noem called the agent a veteran officer and said he's experienced. We're told he is based in Minneapolis. And often during an investigation, the identity of the officer will officially be revealed, along with how long they've been on the job.
Jen, too, some really significant developments today with the actual investigation into the shooting.
Absolutely. Now, the investigation was originally to be a joint investigation between the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, or BCA, and the FBI. This morning, we learned from the BCA the U.S. Attorney's Office decided the investigation will be conducted solely by the FBI. The BCA said it was told it would no longer have access to case materials, evidence, and more. The agency said without access, it would be near impossible to conduct an investigation. So the agency has withdrawn from the investigation. Commissioner of Public Safety Bob Jacobson said the FBI does have that evidence and the investigative notes, and says it has not been shared with the BCA.
We would welcome the opportunity to jump back in, to do that investigation, use our high-quality investigators from the BCA to be able to do that with them, to find the answers that the public deserves. Without any of that information, or without any of that assistance from the FBI or the federal government, we would be at a loss to be able to initiate and conduct a thorough investigation.
All right, we've reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office for comment about this decision. So far, we have not heard back. We're told the FBI has no comment. The city of Minneapolis posted on X saying the removal of the BCA from the investigation is deeply disappointing and expressed concern over it continuing without state partners.
This is interesting. I can kind of see that on both ends. I can see why they don't want the state to look into this. It could just be a matter of, you guys talk too much and causing too much issues already, and you're going to try to finesse the situation, so we're going to leave you out of it. But maybe it's because ICE agents are federal agents that they feel this should be a federal matter, not a local state matter. But the victim is a civilian after all, so I don't know. This is a weird situation nonetheless, and everybody's up in arms, everybody's confused, and everybody's divided on exactly what's going on. I'm not here to pick a side, okay? I'm here to look at the situation objectively based off of the information that we know, that we see. I'm not trying, and because I've seen a lot of body cam videos, I mean, I'm no officer, but you know, you see and you realize a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and actually see the actual video of what's going on. Okay, so first things first, again, there's a whole bunch of people that's divided about what this is. A lot of people saying that it's murder. A lot of people saying that it's self-defense. Of course, the right's going to say that, oh, this is self-defense. The people on the far left are going to say this was murder. People that's in the center is just like people that are like me, that is more so in the center when it comes to these type of situations. We got to remain unbiased in this situation and just allow for whatever happened to be handled in court, hoping that this is the best situation. Because initially, when I first seen this video, I'm like, what the heck is even going on here? So the accusation or the claim that the right is making is that ICE was currently at that moment about to arrest somebody, arrest illegal immigrants or somebody that needs to be arrested, whatever the case may be. The ICE was there. As we can see, her vehicle right here is positioned in a way to block. Now, I've seen another video in which they were saying that she, like, as far as the information, she wasn't anybody that was a heavy protester, whatever the case may be. She didn't go to any protests. She wasn't, doing all this stuff, which is, I guess, a little bit more information in regards to the individual, Renee. Now, the thing that's really confusing me is that why are we in this position? So then the question that begs the question, was she really trying to block the ICE agents from getting whoever it is that they were getting, as many people have been doing? They've been interfering with ICE agents in their arrests. They've been getting in their way. They've been using their vehicles to be aggressive with the police officers. And it's been or police officers with the ICE officers. At the end of the day, they're federal agents. So it doesn't make sense. So let's just go ahead and take a look and see the video. So already positioned weird. I don't know why she's positioned like this. If somebody said, yeah, she was blocking ICE agents, I can be like, okay, that would make sense, because how are you positioned like this when you're driving normal? What are you even doing here in the first place where you're in this situation? That begs the question. Right, you see
the vehicle there. That's law enforcement pulling up in the pickup.
And it is the Honda Pilot that we should be focused on here. It's about a purplish reddish color.
Okay, so right here, two officers get out. This officer here, he's about to try and open the door. As you can see that she's already reversing. Now, also take a look at her tire.
We're here, so let's take a look.
Agent walking up.
Back. And there was an officer here on this side behind him. That's the shooter. And apparently this guy was here as well. I don't know. He was initially in front of the vehicle. Maybe he already saw what was happening. Maybe he already knew that she was going to back up, which is why he moved out the way, because he's probably like, she's probably going to try and hit me, or she's probably going to try and run me over. Because clearly, if we go back to the very beginning,
here, it's about a purple.
The officer is back here somewhere. The officer is back here somewhere. If she wanted to really just dip out, she could have just drove that way and made a left instead of a right. But I mean, we can't see the full image. I think there was another image or another position in which somebody was shooting this. But it's just very weird how this kind of played out. You see what I'm saying?
Bluish reddish color here. So let's take a look.
Trying to open the
Agent
door.
walking up.
The agent comes like right here, so on the same side that she's on. And the thing is, if you didn't see, I'm not gonna try and rewind it too much. As she as she was out of reverse is when the officer had pulled his gun out. And then as she's going forward, that's when he shoots.
And there's another agent. I don't know if you can see that one right there.
Three agents involved. One was kind of closer to the front of the vehicle. The other kind of pulled on that driver's side door handle.
Yeah.
There
so again, there's no audio here. We don't know what's being said. We don't.
It's just really hard to understand, guys. I don't know. It's a tough situation to go by. And like I said, we've gone through plenty of body cam videos enough to, well, I've gone through plenty of body cam videos enough to know situations. Cars can be used as deadly, even if it so much becomes like possibly nicking somebody's leg. It can be considered use of a deadly weapon. It's as easy as that, which is a crazy thing. A lot of people don't know that, but like if you come close to hitting an officer, that's enough for, or law enforcement, whatever, that's enough to be deemed as a deadly weapon. Whether it was her intention or not, unfortunately, I mean, there's not much that could be said at the end of the day. Now, you guys could probably say, oh, you just, Uncle Tom, you here for the Ice Ages, all this, that, and the third stuff. Like, guys, I'm looking at this objectively. And once again, why was she here in the first place? Doesn't make sense. Why is that car positioned in the way that it was positioned, as though she was blocking or trying to block an entry of another vehicle, which a lot of people have been doing with ICE. I'm not saying everywhere, all over all the states that they're doing this, but there are people that have been doing this. So it's like, why was she here? Why was she already in that position? Why is it that they were trying to get her out the car if she had nothing to do with the situation? The only reason is that she inserted herself in the situation, trying to obscure an investigation, obscure an arrest. And they were trying to get to her to kind of, pull her out, maybe arrest her for actually trying to prevent an arrest or stalling an arrest. And she was gonna flee the scene. I don't know. It's a tough situation. It's really tough. Now, on the officer's end that were shooting, I don't know if he was nicked. I don't know if he wasn't. We couldn't really tell from our angle. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I will say the one thing that is very dangerous in that situation is that considering where he was positioned, he could have possibly injured other people. He could have possibly injured his colleagues based off of where he was positioned. He could have injured the colleague that was right there next to him based off of how he was positioned. So me personally, I think, that he shouldn't have opened fired in that case, considering where he was. That's kind of, it was too much of an arc, too circular, like to be out here shooting, because that can easily hit somebody else. I don't know, y'all. It's tough. And the interesting thing that I'm seeing is that there's a lot of people out that I'm seeing a lot of people are messed up. People are really messed up in the world. There's a lot of people that are, I mean, of course, like I said, a lot of people that are divided in regards to this. A lot of people say that it was murder. A lot of people said, it's one of those situations where you, like they say, F around and find out. That's the same thing that they said when it came to like Charlie Kirk. Completely different situation, but I mean, based off of the evidence that we have, we are not 100% sure what was going on here, what was happening, why she was trying. I mean, we see why she was trying to flee, but you don't flee from an officer. You don't flee from an officer, and you don't interfere with an investigation. That's, if anything, you don't do that. You don't do that. The second you start to interfere, that's liable for an arrest every single time. So again, objectively speaking, we've seen this happen before. People are in cars. When you're in a car and you almost hit an officer, they may pull out their firearm and they get shot. We've seen this. I think I've done a video about this before some time ago. Why she was there in this situation, if she was dropping off her kid at school, we don't know. Or at least if somebody knows, go ahead and comment below. But in the meantime, I don't know why she was there. It is said that she was there trying to block off people from the ICE agents from making an arrest. That's not something that you do. That is liable for arrest, and they will detain you. Then when you refuse to be detained, that's when they have their discretion to use force. And when you flee, and in fleeing inside a vehicle, you're about to hit an officer, that's when the force may be made. Am I saying that this is what she deserves? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it all stems from the root on how we even got here in the first place. It's the same thing, like I said, with all of my body cam videos. Every time when I'm talking about, the black people and how every time when they get arrested, it's always off of stupid stuff. If we look at the root situation and how they got there, we realize that it was something stupid that they did that ended up escalating the situation. I can say that I can guess it's the same situation here, y'all. It's looking like it's the same situation here. And it's unfortunate. I don't know. So is the officer going to get off? I can see him getting off. If we've seen all the officers every other time getting off, I can see him getting off from this one. If he doesn't, I'd be surprised. I'm not saying that he should get off. There should be some type of accountability. Again, shooting your firearm in that range, in the way that he was in the position that he was at, where he was clearly facing where other people were and firing in that direction. Very risky, but I don't know, man. But that's my 2 cents on the situation. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this whole thing. And please let's not flame. Let's actually have a conversation in this whole thing, because a lot of people are flaming. A lot of people are gaslighting. And it's like, guys, we got to look at this situation objectively. I understand that some people may not like ICE and hate the idea of ICE, hate the idea of the Trump administration and all that stuff. At the end of the day, Trump is the current president. Trump has his administration here, as his administration. ICE is out under Trump's guidance. ICE was out even before Trump. So let's not forget that. And these guys are just doing the job that they were given. Are there going to be some issues and casualties and stuff like that? Yeah, there will be, unfortunately. But that's what happens when we get to this point to begin with. So, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.